Some time ago, we planned a short road trip. We stayed in Munich, my current home, and each morning set off to a different place. Under a grey winter sky, Munich felt darker than usual. We took a short walk through the city center before heading to the park. Honestly, Munich deserves so much attention for its architecture. This is the Rathaus at Marienplatz. It looks way older than it is. It was actually built only at the end of the 19th century. I recently talked to a local who has walked these streets thousands of times and still never noticed this small bronze statue. They say if you rub it, true love will find you. People talk a lot about Munich's architecture, but its parks deserve just as much praise. West Park is one of my favorites. Watch out for the birds. The park is full of them. Some of them are friendly and some of them are not. The next few days took us to Füssen, Burghausen and finally Königssee, a lake that truly feels like a wonder of the Alps. We had just come back from Norway, and the drive to Füssen felt familiar, icy roads and a snowstorm. For a moment, we weren't sure we would make it, but the main road was in really great condition. As you probably know, some stretches of the German Autobahn have no speed limit. Cars can hit 200 kilometers, or about 124 miles per hour. Füssen feels like a classic Bavarian town. Painted houses often show their purpose or tell stories of the region. Most tourists come here to see Neuschwanstein Castle, the one that inspired Walt Disney, but not me. The tickets sell out weeks in advance, so I decided to just enjoy the city and the park around it. I think the Church of St. Mang and the nearby castle are often overlooked, but definitely worth a visit. I really love the view of the red roofs with the Alps in the background. I definitely admired all the wall paintings, and I really wish more people visited the castle, as it often stays in the shadow of the more famous castles nearby. Before calling it a day, we had a dinner at an Italian restaurant. The pasta and pizza were phenomenal. If you're in Füssen, I would highly recommend it. Our next stop was Burghausen. I had never seen this charming town in any tourist guides, and not a single person had recommended it. The city is home to the longest castle in the world. Frankly, it's more like a complex: museums, buildings, houses, towers. And it forms the main historical center of the city. I was genuinely surprised to learn that some people still live within the castle grounds. The views from the castle are incredible. From here, you can see the entire city, the forest, and the hills around it. And just across the river, here, that's already Austria. Burghausen sits right on the border. It was so cool to see the frozen river. It added such a wonderful and very unique vibe to our winter trip. While walking through the city, I kept wondering why jazz names were everywhere. It turns out Burghausen hosts a jazz festival every year. In the evening, we crossed the border into Austria, just to enjoy the view for a moment before heading back home. Just look at this. What a beauty! We saved the highlight of the trip for the last day. Königssee lies close to the Austrian border. I had been here once before, in summer. I fell in love with the area and I promised myself I would come back in winter. And this time, I did. If you're coming from Germany, I would really recommend taking the Alpine Road. It's one of the most picturesque drives I've ever taken. Beautiful in every season. I kept wanting to stop just to take it all in. The nature here is so impressive. Königssee is the most beautiful lake I've visited so far. There is so much to do here: hiking, enjoying local food, swimming in summer, or taking a boat trip across the lake. This was my second boat trip here. The first time was in summer, and I realized the lake doesn't really belong to one season. Winter is just as charming. There were not so many people this time. In summer, the line for the boat can take over 1 hour. Today, there was almost no one. On the other side of the lake, I walked into the forest. Some places don't need words. Enjoy. last stop was a small church in Ramsau. You've probably seen it on the postcards. As we drove through the Alps, I felt grateful for the journey, the lakes, the forests, the small towns, and the quiet moments in between. Bavaria has a way of leaving a mark, and I'm thankful to be able to call this place my current home. Exploring Bavaria in winter is just as beautiful as in summer. Ski resorts are busy, of course, but the cities have fewer visitors and the streets feel quieter, calmer, more intimate. This trip will stay with me for a long time, a quiet memory of beauty, stillness, and wonder.